goddamn does that sound and look good. Hello everyone, Chief Canuck here. For those unaware, 343 revealed their next Halo FPS title called Halo Infinite, and that was the trailer they aired at this year's E3 press conference. We're going to be breaking down the trailer. Even though it's rather short and a bit of an engine demo, there's still quite a bit packed in there, hidden away, so we'll be dissecting that in a moment, and I'll also be giving you guys all the news all about Halo Infinite that we know up until this point. So without further ado, let's dive into it. Yes, this is the Halo 6 game that we've been waiting for. It's called Halo Infinite. They dropped the number for some reason. I know they said they wanted to do that in the future, so they avoid titles like Halo 17, but I was surprised they dropped the 6 this time around. But let's quickly go over what we knew before this announcement. Every Halo game will get at least one beta. Every Halo FPS title will support split screen moving forward. Halo 6, now we know as Halo Infinite, was confirmed to support LAN. Black undersuits are returning, and the story will focus more on the Master Chief. Those are all things that we had learned and knew before E3. And after Halo Infinite was announced, we learned it's exclusive to Windows 10 and Xbox One. So it's likely a Play Anywhere title, that is yet to be confirmed, but it will be available through the Microsoft Store, not Steam, but Halo Infinite is coming to the PC. We don't have a release date. I think it's safe to assume fall 2019 or perhaps even later. We'll be talking a little bit more about that a little bit later in this video. And the game engine is running on a new engine, the Slipspace Engine. The posting on Halo Waypoint let us know that this trailer is more of a demo of their new Slipspace Engine, so keep that in mind when you watch the footage. The blog mentions that there is still a long way to go before they ship the game, so things will definitely change between now and the release of Halo Infinite, though the engine demo is a clear indication of the direction they are heading and a great snapshot of where their tech is right now. And they say that their vision for this game was ambitious, so that's why they needed to build new tech to reach their goals, and this demo showcases some of that potential of this new tech, and everything we saw was running in the new engine. Keep in mind this is all running on new engine, likely some beefy hardware, so we don't know exactly how it's going to look in the end once all things are said and done on the Xbox One, the Xbox One S, or the Xbox One X, or whatever future console Xbox releases. Yes, Phil Spencer mentioned they're already working on the next set of consoles. I'm hoping they keep this Xbox One ecosystem going. Who knows, maybe we'll even have Halo Infinite launching alongside the newer version of the Xbox One, or whatever they call it. But this is all speculation at that point. Another thing we notice is the new art style. Halo Infinite features Sparth's new style that draws from iconic and historical parts of the Halo franchise, and our ever vocal feedback. You cannot deny that the community has been very vocal of what they want in Halo art style. And we can see that the new Master Chief helmet directly showcases their new art style. The blog post also doubles down on the fact that they heard our feedback about the amount of time we spent playing as Master Chief in Halo 5. They said that Halo Infinite will focus on the Chief and will be continuing his saga after the events of Halo 5. Now, as for betas, we don't have any dates for those either, but the blog post let us know that 343 will be running early flighting programs to allow members of the community to play the game and give direct feedback, just like the Insider program for the Master Chief Collection. So it sounds like, as of right now, they're planning for selective, possibly smaller slice, and more frequent betas via a flighting program, but that's just my assumption. They say it will take some time, however, before these flighting events start, and that they'll start small and grow from there, which is why I'm expecting a release in 2019, most likely in the fall at the earliest. 343 also has a new webpage dedicated for the new Slipspace Engine, and it has a few buzzwords on it. One excerpt caught my eye though. It says, "Alive with excitement, a living, breathing world ripe for exploration and endless gameplay possibilities." Sounds like an open world to me, although we're on a ring, so I don't know how open that's going to be, but again, these are all buzzwords. There is no doubt that this game does look more alive though. I wasn't expecting this to be a trailer for Halo with all the wildlife in the beginning. Most of the wildlife we've seen before were birds and a few creatures in Halo Reach, but not much else. Halo 5's kind of ambient wildlife was always in the kind of background. You couldn't really interact or walk through it. This truly does look like a living, breathing Halo ring this time around, full of wildlife, almost like a safari, and is potentially a big open world for us to discover based off those buzzwords. So let's briefly dive into some of the little things you may have missed in the trailer. Now, these first 3 scenes that I'm going to be putting my attention towards provide some strong evidence that this trailer takes place on Installation 07, also known as Zeta Halo. First off, we have deer. Yes, apparently some small deer were known to inhabit Zeta Halo. Right here, we see that this writing is clearly not a natural formation. Someone must have wrote it here. Sorry, I couldn't resist not using that. That was a great little joke I saw on Reddit. All credit to you. But jokes aside, it almost looks like a form of Forerunner script, perhaps left behind by ancient humans. There are some similarities, but also differences as reported by Reddit users. At this time, it hasn't really been deciphered. It could be anything. It could even answer the question, is the Master Chief who we think he is? Okay, I need to stop joking. And the third scene is this radio in the tent, which apparently is broadcasting in Morse code and has been deciphered to be saying the following message, SOS Zeta Halo GRD, which people are assuming grid or something, or maybe ground. I don't know, I'm not familiar with that acronym GRD. I did an acronym Google search for GRD, and nothing kind of came back military-based that I'm aware of. So it's these 3 key pieces that have lore experts determining that this trailer is likely on Installation 07, also known as Zeta Halo. There's also a chance that this is the ring shown at the end of Halo 5, and at the end of Halo Wars 2, we have Anders on the newly created Installation 09, so perhaps we'll eventually link up with the Halo Wars 2 cast at some point in the future, now that we're actually returning to the Halo rings in the Halo game. If we are indeed on Installation 07, there's a rich history that 343 can draw from, since that ring is one of the original rings from the original Halo array. There's a rich history of Flood, Forerunners, and Ancient Humans, and much more that 343 can draw from. The next scene I want to look at here is this Crash Pelican scene, and on the console it shows a date of 5/27/2560. We had to adjust some of the filters so we can see it clearly, but that is May 27th, 2560. And the significance of that is, so far, is that it's roughly 2 years after the events of Halo 5, and roughly a year or so after the events of Halo Wars 2. So now we have a timeline of where Halo Infinite will be taking place if they stick to this. Again, everything's still early, things can change. Also in the Pelican, there's a Fight for Her poster. It's a poster seen in past games, and the her mention is referring to Earth, not Cortana. In this ocean scene, it looks like there's a Retriever Sentinel that's inspecting something on the ocean floor. It looks like a chassis for a Warthog. Not much more can be said, but it's giving me some serious Delta Halo mission vibes from Halo 2, and not only that, it looks gorgeous. And in this scene with the Marines, in a more Reach-style look nonetheless, we can see that they're looking up, and once the camera pans out, you can see some Sentinels in the tree lines. Then we have the reveal of Master Chief's helmet, the new art style of the armor, the epic decision to include Halo 3 soundtrack, Finish the Fight. That person, whoever made that decision, deserves a raise. That was such an epic moment. But what a lot of people are talking about is what we can see in Chief's visor is an empty Warthog. And lots of people have been pointing this out. I'm not really sure why, though. The scene's epic, but my only conclusion is that the Warthog is empty. So it looks like the Chief is driving alone. There's no sign of Blue Team or Fire Team Osiris at this point. Again, this is an engine trailer. Things will most definitely change from here on out. And the next scene shows a Scout Warthog driving. I'm not sure if it's the Chief driving it. He very well might be, since the Marines were injured in the last scene and were likely signaling for evac. But I think the point of these scenes was just to show how open, alive, and beautiful the world is. Which is funny because last September, a user on Twitter asked Frank O'Connor to describe a new mission/map from the next Halo game in one word, and Frank replied with capacious, which means having lots of space and roomy. And there's no denying that this trailer certainly sets that vibe. Now personally, I find it's cool the Marines look more like they did in Halo Reach and wasn't too crazy of how they did in Halo 5, and that the Chief has a more classic look. I know a lot of people wanted that. However, I'm wondering how they'll explain this change. Is it just their new art direction that grabs inspiration from the past, meanwhile keeping some things, new things like the designs for the battle rifle shown in the Marines' hands and the Warthog driving away that's clearly like a Halo 4, Halo 5 Warthog? Or is there a story element that explains why we're going to be seeing some older looking items? I see lots of people speculating it's to fight against Cortana by using older tech, like that old walkie-talkie radio, But still, this older tech isn't that old and should still be susceptible to the same EMP-like blast and hackings by the created in Cortana. So I'm not sure if that's the reason why we're seeing some older stuff. Regardless, I feel that 343 should explain some of the changes, especially with Chief's new looking armor in-game. But only if the reason is actually good, and not if it's like the same meme-worthy reason we got for the change for Chief's armor from 3 to 4. But that's just my opinion, feel free to share yours in the comments down below. Now, after the text saying that this was powered by their new Slipspace Engine, we see this scene of Master Chief putting in a new AI chip into the back of his helmet there. People have paused this frame and zoomed in, and it looks like it's got a different identification number than Cortana, so people are trying to figure out which AI he's putting in the back of his head. I'm not sold on this actually being part of the trailer. I think this is almost just like their intro piece for the engine. We've seen different kind of artistic designs of Master Chief in previous E3s. Like last E3, we had this wire design of the Master Chief, and we've seen him, like, the jump on in Master Chief. I'm almost thinking this is just like an artistic expression involving the Master Chief and also just advertising the engine rather than the game at this point. I'm not even sure this is part of the game. It could very well be, but I'm not sold on that fact just yet. It seems out of place compared to the rest of the trailer. And that's about it for the trailer. Let me know if I missed anything, and let me know what you think down below in the comments. Now, since this was an engine demo and it was a very short teaser, I'm doubtful we'll be seeing anything else this convention season, since Gamescom, RTX, and other events like PAX Prime are all within the next 2 months. And they say they have a long way to go before this game releases, so it may be another long, quiet period of Halo news once E3 finishes. So brace yourselves, it may be a little while longer before we get to see more or even get our hands on Halo Infinite. But I hope they take the time this game needs. As always, thank you for watching. Be sure to hit the like button if you enjoyed the video, as it greatly helps out my channel, and subscribe if you haven't already. For those interested, I've left links to all my sources down below in the description, including links to the Reddit and Twitter threads on the lore information, which is created by people who are much smarter than me on the subject. All credit goes to them as they continue to dive in and figure things out. And anyways, I hope you guys stay tuned to this channel. I'll be doing my best to keep you all informed on the latest Halo Infinite news. My name's Chief Canuck, and I'll see you guys next time.